Good morning. Good morning. The last day of March of 2022. How are you this morning? I don't know. It was funny. I just heard I thought what I heard was my voice, but it's a dog barking outside. That's sad. I thought I was getting some feedback. I'm a little bit too racy this morning. I'm a little bit I'd say disheveled. I've been putting together a bunch of things and yeah. So let's see. How are you? We always need to ask, how is the chat? The chat that doesn't exist because no one's on my live stream. But it's always good to just, check and see, from time to time, maybe somebody got lost. Somebody got lost on the internet and now they found my chat, my live stream. That's good. That's good. So anyway, I have written down that it's the 32nd consecutive live stream. I don't know if that's true. My notes are not looking really positive from yesterday. We know that tomorrow starts April. We know that we're live. We believe we have a microphone. And I guess we should talk about some things. How do I get into this one? All right, here we go. So I turned on my computer this morning and there was no mouse. There was no little cursor. I couldn't do anything. And that's not good. That's not good. This is like 10 minutes before the show is supposed to start. I like to be on time. It's like, this is how the day goes. This is what technological snafu will I find that will keep me from, getting something done. And today it was, there's just no mouse. There's no, you can't, you just can't see where your little button is on the screen. You're nothing. So I didn't believe that. I was like, that can't be. How can you not have a mouse? And so honestly, I didn't. So Control Alt Delete on that. That didn't get me where I needed to go. That was the task manager. Hit the return button, put me over on the right hand side of the screen where I could hit restart, restarted it, came back. Now I have a mouse. But that really freaks you out. Like how many days in a row have I been on my computer? I mean, I don't know the last time my computer's not been on for a whole day. Maybe when I had surgery like last year, maybe, but it's been a long time. And so I can't remember the last time I didn't have a mouse, a little cursor. You say, well, your battery's, no, my battery's fine. It's showing just fine. I don't know. I just thought that was fascinating. No mouse. Weather in St. Louis is taking a turn. It was raining all day yesterday. And of course I said, hey, I like to show houses in the rain. I'm going to show a bunch of houses to different people tonight. We'll know if a basement leaks because it'll smell and it'll be wet and nasty. I'm going to show a house with a pool today. Haven't shown one of those in a while. Going to show a house in a historic neighborhood. Haven't shown one of those in a while. But let's talk about that. Do you know what a pre-inspection is? A pre-sale inspection? Very rare in St. Louis. Very rare, but I saw one yesterday. So the idea is, if you're listing your house for sale and you think there might be things wrong with it, rather than disclose it on a seller's disclosure, just go ahead and get it inspected and include the inspection as part of a pre-sale inspection. Now you pay for it. It's about $400, maybe $600, depending on the size of the house. And then it lists everything wrong with the house. And you say, well, that's great. That everybody should do that. Well, people don't do that for a couple of reasons. One, why does the seller feel the need to do a pre-sale inspection? Well, probably because there's something pretty wrong with the house. Number two, in this market, houses are selling that are just crap. So, I mean, do you really need do you really need to pay $600 when somebody else is going to just buy it anyway? Number 3, if you find out about something, you have to disclose it. Now, how are you going to disclose it if you don't know about it? Which is what most people do, which is why that house in South County that didn't have the disclosure about the leaky basement was so nefarious, because it's like you filled out every single part of the seller's disclosure and just happened to miss every single question related to your basement being leaking. And now someone else is going to move in that house, and their agent's too stupid to know what's going on, and they're going to end up suing you to oblivion. And then you say, well, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Probably not. So anyway, the pre-inspection. I don't like it because I don't like home inspectors or home inspections in general. I think they're ridiculous. When you buy a house as is, you should get an inspection, I have no doubt. But if you read the way some of these guys write their inspection reports, like if I have a cracked faceplate on an electric socket, it's like it's the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. And don't get me started about, God forbid there's an electric socket that is wired backwards. Oh my God, we shouldn't buy the house because of that. I mean, that's the level of home inspector bullshit that they've gotten to. I apologize for cursing, but I mean, it's just bad. And you say, well, as a seller, don't you want this wonderful home inspector to find everything wrong? I do want the home inspector to find things wrong with the home. Okay, no question. But nitpicking little things that any homeowner would have to deal with under any normal course of home ownership really should be off limits. And there's been times in my career where I truly believe that the home inspector broke something during their inspection. And I'll give you one example. We had a house, very nice house in South County. It was in Afton. I listed it for sale. Everything was working fine. The home inspector came and decided that they were going to do a sewer camera. They couldn't get the sewer camera in the drain pipe, so they took the toilet off of the wax ring and did it through there, and then tried to put it on and act like they didn't do that. And so when you went to flush the toilet after that, it leaked everywhere. Everywhere. Did I fix it? No. They broke it. Screw them. Should have known better. Don't do that next time. You say, well, you should have disclosed that. You could have been sued. Sue me. Sue me for all the money that a toilet that you broke, is going to cost. And by the way, did I go to the buyer's agent and yell and scream at him like, you idiot, it's all your fault? No, because why would I? What would be the point? They're buying the house for like $30,000 over asking. You think I'm going to fight with that guy? Why would I fight with him? He brought me a buyer that's going to pay a stupid amount of money for a property. And this is what I think. You can say that it's wrong. You could say that I'm not doing it right, but I'm telling you. So anyway, pre-inspection, it looks terrible on this house. I mean, I'm afraid to even go over there. I'm worried the house is going to fall down on me. It has 3 slate shingles that are a little loose. And you know what? It has electricity from the 1920s, knob and tube. That house has managed to make it for what, 80 years? No, 100 years and not burn down. But we're going to worry about it now. He said, well, John, come on, electricity is different now than it was then. We know much more about safety. Well, all right, fine. Oh, we use our plugs more. We always, you know what? Fine. My point is that it's working fine. It's just like one of those things, like if you ever go to see fuses in a house, instead of you see a electric box with fuses instead of what are they? Breakers. Sorry. Well, fuses aren't dangerous. Fuses are actually more safe than breakers. But here's the downside. One, you can put an overloaded fuse, which will not be safe. Okay. Like take a 15 amp fuse and then put in like a 25 amp fuse. That's overloading. That's bad. Number 2, the the breakers themselves can at times, not break, not trip. So the reason why they got rid of the fuse boxes is because people were overloading them, and they're single use. You blow a fuse, you have to buy a new fuse. You have to have a new fuse on hand, or else you're not having power. It's just one of those things. If I have a buyer that needs to buy a house, I say, hey, we're probably gonna have to change out the fuse box. I mean, I just tell them that, and sometimes the sellers are like, should I change out the fuse box? I'm like, yeah, just change it out. Sometimes it's cheaper to do that when you have I know it sounds crazy because it's like $1,000, but it's just better to change it out. And the more, the longer I go, the less I see, the fewer I see. But anyway, does the pre-inspection hurt you on the seller side? Well, you're already out $600 in this market. It's so hot. How are you gonna be in bad shape? The person that buys that house is probably going to come in with no appraisal, over asking, and probably inspections for, what's it called? Purposes only. Inspection for informational purposes only. So, on that deal, what's going to be the problem? Actually helping out the buyer. You're saying, look, this is what's probably wrong with the house. And I had some guy do it. Now you could say, well, the guy's getting paid by you. Won't he skew it? Well, he may, but the inspectors I've met are such jerks anyway, that they're probably happy to find everything wrong with your house when you own it. They probably really enjoy that. Oh, look, we get to trash somebody's house that they own right away to their face. That's probably how they think about it. Inspectors we're not friends. Never will be friends. And I mean, even the inspectors I have that are friends, I don't like. That's not true. They're nice people. But still, the point is, hey. Anyway, that'll be interesting. So it's cold and miserable today. It's weird. I don't know how that's going to shake out. Like, if I want to buy a house with a pool, it's going to be on a summer day. Kind of crazy. I thought we had a good show yesterday. What did you think? It was pretty good. Now, I do have some things. Like, one, as you know, it's hard for me to do my taxes. It's not hard for me to do my taxes because, like, I make all this money. No, that's not the reason. It's hard for me to do the taxes because I get depressed. I never make as much money as I'd hope to make, and I don't want to pay taxes. I don't like it. Sometimes I don't make money. This year is pretty crappy as far as my taxes are concerned. But thank goodness I'm very close to turning it in. I'd like to get it turned in by tomorrow. Wife has to cooperate with me on that one. That's going to be the main focus today. Got the books done. I have the statements done for the business, but now I need to go and put my personal taxes together. So, am I nervous? I'm not nervous. I just want to get it done. It's like, when you go to the dentist, are you nervous about going to the dentist? Probably not. The dentist might be a decent fellow, but when he starts drilling on your teeth, then all of a sudden it's not fun. That's kind of where I'm at with the taxes. I don't even really care about. I just don't want to do them. I don't want to go to the dentist. It might be a fine fellow, but I don't want to go there, like hang out. Actually, he's a pretty nice guy. He's fun. As fun as dentists can be. Actually, I hate the whole dental deal too. You go in there, and it's just a racket. I'm not going to talk about it today. And so let's talk about the final thing that really took a lot of time yesterday. And it's funny because it didn't come to fruition like I thought it would. And that is my newest channel, newest live stream will be Our Nature of Employment. Good luck finding it on YouTube because I looked and I couldn't find it. And I own the channel. Couldn't find it on Google, couldn't find it on YouTube. So we're going real well. We're starting off real well. The second thing that I did, which was a bonehead move, is the same thing I did when I did my live stream to start with. When I moved Deerwood Realty live streams from the Deerwood Realty channel. It takes 24 hours to get approved for your live stream. I thought that because I had the channel, I was going to be fine. No, got to apply. Applied yesterday. It's supposed to be 24 hours, which means last night, even though I wanted to broadcast, I wasn't able to. And now tonight, will I be able to? I don't know. It says 24 hours. That could be next week. Who's going to stop? Who's going to call them on it? Nobody. So now I've got that situation. And then I've got one final situation that we got to talk about, and I'm going to put it out in words because I've been thinking about it, and it's hard to come up with the right answer. And you guys can help me because all three of you that show up for the streams will know something. Okay, here we go. Yesterday I downloaded StreamYard, and you say, well, why? Everything looks good. It's gotten a lot better since you started. Yes, it has. But I've gotten to the point now where it's like, I'm not going to have any guests like tomorrow or anything, but I'd like to have the ability to have guests. Okay. And I can't really do it through OBS the way I want to. And I can't really do it through Streamlabs the way I want to because it's just too much for me. I know you say that's dumb, John. It's not too hard. You can do it. I don't think I can. I mean, I'll have 3 different channels. Okay. I have 4, but 3 main ones. One is for my podcast, which have been lagging this week, which I'm very embarrassed about. 2, I've got the live stream channel for Deerwood Realty, which no one comes to, which is kind of weird because it's a pretty good show. And I guess I should advertise it or something, but it's not. I haven't been. Number 3, I need to do a better job with this new one. I just feel like it's going to be at night. It should be at a better time. People should be able to watch it. It's on a different subject altogether. And I feel like I'm going to end up at Streamlabs eventually because I'm going to end up with StreamYard eventually because I do plan on, in the real estate world, like I reached out with a fellow yesterday and he's got his stuff together. And I'm happy to promote him should he want to be promoted. And similarly, I think that on the other channel, there may be people down the road that might want to hop on. And so that being the case, we should have that ability. Now, the reason why I think I lost my mouse is because of when I got the new software all in order on StreamYard. Now you say, well, there's no software. Well, I mean, I had to download it and I had to make my microphones and everything work with it. And so it took forever. But here's the thing. When we go to our articles today and when we go talk about stuff, I like that I can adjust my camera size to the page. I'm not going to be able to do that over at the other one. So that's going to be a problem. The other thing is it works better with 2 screens. I don't have 2 screens. I just have 1. So that's going to make it tough for me to respond. But look, over time, I think I'm going to move to that direction completely. Why? Well, I'm already paying for it. I'm paying for Streamlabs for Deerwood Realty. And what do they give me? They give me a place where people can donate for my show, but no one's donating for my show because no one's around. So I'm not losing that. What I am losing is some degree of control over the product as far as where I can put my face and and I'm losing stream quality. I'm at 720p on the other one, whereas I'm at 1080 through what I have. I can actually go all the way up to 4K, but that would be stupid right now. So look, I think what's going to happen is the Deerwood Realty live stream, as soon as I get it set up in there, is going to switch over to StreamYard, because then I'll have two over there. And I think that for the time being, the podcasts are going to stay through Streamlabs, because I just feel like that's the best way to go. Can I switch my shows over to Streamlabs or StreamYard? Yes. The podcast I can. And in fact, on the podcast, what I can do that I really like is I can download the audio only rather than having to run the audio through a different program. But that's not that difficult for me. But at some point in time, I'm going to drop Streamlabs, the paid version, because I'm paying for another one. And then I'm also going to probably set up a page for like donations. I know you're not going to donate, and I may not get to 1,000 subscribers ever at this point. I mean, I kind of see the writing on the wall here, but should something change, at least you have the ability to do that. Now, you say, John, why don't you just use your local page, and then you don't have to design a new website or anything like that? Well, two problems with that. One, locals won't let me stream every day like I can stream on YouTube. So that's a problem. Number two, there's no discovery in locals. You're not going to find me in locals. You have to see me somewhere else and then know that I'm on locals. And number three, what makes you think that I should trust anyone? I mean, why should I trust any tech? It's been shown to be, why should I trust anything anymore? I mean, it's just like, it doesn't work. So, that's kind of the direction I'm headed. The live stream, it's called Our Nature of Employment. It's not going to be every night, because I've got so many buyers right now, and they want to start looking at houses at 6 o'clock, and which is totally fine, or 5 o'clock, and they'll want to see houses until 7 or 8. Then I'd have to prepare the show, be on at 9, and I tend to go to bed around 11:15, like in bed. So it's going to be, if I have to write an offer that night, if whatever I have to do, it's going to mess things up. So, but we'll work through it. Okay. Don't freak out. It's okay. But it's something that I just feel the need to do. Can I bring something to that space? I hope so. Will you come with me? I hope so. But I mean, I don't know. But anyway, it'll be with StreamYard, and you will be able, I will be able to put anybody I want to on the show with me. Am I scared about that? Yeah, I've never interviewed anyone. I don't know, part of me says you let the interview flow. Okay. Part of me says you need to have the questions in advance. I do watch a lot of streams where people get interviewed or people talk back and forth. And some of the things that I know I have to work on is, one, I can't speak over my guest. Okay. And then two, we can't get into the weeds on something. I've noticed that happens a lot. By a lot, I mean never. It always goes in the weeds. But what I want to do is try and stay on topic, whatever that topic may be. It'll be related to employment. Now, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I don't. It probably destroys any chance I'll ever have of working for someone else. That's probably the final nail in the coffin. But honestly, guys, nobody wanted to hire me ever before. So I don't know why it would start now. I mean, I'm already written off. Okay. We already know that, as evidenced by the fact that I'm here. So anyway, I think it'll be fun. I'm sorry that I can't do things. I just snap my fingers and have them be perfect. I just, there's so much to do. And, so that's that. So anyway, if you don't like it, when I switch over to the new stream, it's okay. I won't switch over to the new stream for the live streams until well, for the Deerwood Realty live stream until I get the other one hammered out where I'm comfortable with. And the reason why is because there are more people that actually watch the Deerwood Realty live stream right now than the people that watch the Our Nature of Employment, because no one knows that even exists other than the people that are watching my stream. I need subscribers though. Boy, if I could get subscribers and then I could get some people watching, we could really have something. But it doesn't ever seem to happen. So anyway, and as far as will I stream to Rumble, will I stream to Odyssey? Yes, but not at the beginning, because I just, first of all, Odyssey has this weird thing where you have to have enough money to stream, and I don't have enough money. And you have to get money by watching everything on Odyssey and stuff like that. I don't have the time to do that. And Rumble, I've never understood their terms of service. I just never have. So, and their Android, I have an NVIDIA Shield, which is what I use for my TV in my room. Their interface sucks. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. It sucks. Locals has got a pretty good interface now that they came online. It's pretty nice, but Rumble sucks, and they need to do something about it. Like, seriously, if I'm going to be over there, you need to fix that. I mean, some of the reason they're like, why are we losing to YouTube all the time? YouTube's this big company, and sometimes YouTube does things right. And that's one of them is the ability to search for a video and actually find it. On Rumble, I was trying to watch something that I'm not allowed to watch on YouTube regarding the current situation in Ukraine, which probably get me banned. But anyway, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't find it. And then when I did find it, there were like 4 different versions. And I just wanted the official version. And that's the problem. Like, look, it's not good enough yet. So anyway, there's my criticism of Rumble. I'll get there at some point when they get their stuff together. And you may say, it's too late, John. It's too late. I don't care. I can only do so much. So let's get into an article today. So watch this. So here we go. Do you see this? I'm going to go over there and I'll have my mouse, but up in the right-hand corner, I can set the size of that picture on Streamlabs. I cannot set the size of the picture or the location in StreamYard. Just telling you. Just telling you. I just checked my email. I know that's rude. I'm sorry, but it calls me like a moth. Okay, here it is. The 2023 Toyota GR Corolla has been leaked ahead of the reveal with engine outputs. This is it. The new Toyota GR Corolla has leaked ahead of tomorrow's reveal. And this was written the 31st of March, so this is today, alongside confirmation of how much power and torque its 3-cylinder. This is going to annoy me to no end. Go away. Its 3-cylinder GR Yaris engine will produce. I just saw this on Google search. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I don't know anything about it. I just wanted to be kind of a part of it. Does that make sense? I just wanted to show you what I saw on search today. I mean, search was really, Bruce Willis has a disease that he can't act anymore. That's sad. It's not funny, not even interesting. 10 million searches. Bruce Arians, it appears like he was the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team with Tom Brady, who I believe he's coming back, but I thought he was coming back with Tampa Bay. I don't know. I'm scratching my ear. Bruce Arians, retired, so that was a big deal. Other than that, I got nothing. I mean, it's bad. So it says less than 24 hours before the covers. Did I do this already? Oh no, it was up in the top. Less than 24 hours before the covers are due to be lifted officially, the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla hot hatch was leaked online alongside confirmation of how much power its turbo engine will muster. Now, the Corolla, I'm just commenting here. Toyota, for me, the Corolla has always been this car that gets great fuel mileage, is ugly, and is small. If you're ever in a car accident, you're going to die. Now, that's just my perception. Okay? It's my opinion. Opinion cannot be slander? I don't know. Libelous? I don't know. Anyway, that's always been my opinion. Now, I think they made like a SUV looking Corolla or a crossover Corolla that just came out. I thought that was pretty interesting because, again, like I think about the Corolla a certain way. You know, I think about it like this is the car. And then when it's not that car, I get a little bit confused. This further confuses me. Now we're going to make a Corolla hot hatch, which I've always liked the hot hatch. I don't have a hot hatch. I have a Hyundai Ioniq right now I'm driving, and it's a hybrid. It gets like 50 miles to the gallon, but it's not a pleasure to be in it. When I get out of the car, I literally like scream because it's terribly uncomfortable. But, you know, hey, I guess we sacrifice. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not thinking about a Toyota Corolla being a hot hatch is what I'm saying. So it says, discovered by members of the GR Corolla Forum, a webpage filled with GR Corolla photos and specs, was discovered on Toyota USA's website early, revealing the car will adopt a bold look inspired by the smaller GR Yaris, which I don't understand what they're doing with the GR name badge. I don't know if that's like their new performance, is it's like TRD or what it is. But anyway, with flared wheel arches, sporty bumpers, and a big rear spoiler. The Corolla takes the Yaris's aggressive styling cues one step further. So I guess it's built on the Yaris. With black extruded bonnet vents, mammoth front wheel grille arches, and what appear to be 3 exhaust tips, comprising the GR Yaris's pair of outlets split by a central pipe. Well, that's just weird. Okay, so it says powering the car will be GR Yaris's 1.6 turbocharged 3-liter petrol engine, but rather than the smaller 3 doors, 200 kilowatt, 370 Newton meters, I'm going to go with. Outputs have been tuned at 224 and 370. Now, this doesn't help me because I don't know what that means. I understand horsepower and torque. So it says drive will continue to be sent to all 4 wheels on tarmac or gravel through a 6-speed manual transmission only, with no automatic available, at least at launch. The gearbox is connected to a GR4 all-wheel drive system with the same choice of normal, sport, and track modes as the Yaris, capable of sending up to 70% of the power to the wheels, the rear wheels. It says no 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time is claimed, which is fine because it wouldn't do me any good because I'm on the American system, which is likely to be lighter, but offers 24 kilowatt less, can compete the benchmark dash claimed in a claimed 5.2 seconds. I wouldn't know what that is in relation to the quarter mile. So, or the, what is it, 0 to 70 or something? 0 to 60. Standard in the US will be circuit-tuned suspension and Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which wrap around a set of 18-inch alloy wheels borrowed from a non-rally GR Yaris model. Inside, Toyota promises a GR leather-trimmed steering wheel and unique gauge cluster. Though beyond a shot of the car's sport seats, which have been lifted from the GR Yaris, the cabin can't be seen. So they took a Yaris and they made it into a Corolla. I mean, that's what I'm understanding here. It says available in the States will be a GR Launch Edition, which adds front and rear Torsen limited slip differentials for the GR Yaris Rally, plus an aforementioned vented bonnet, matte black 18-inch wheels, a forged carbon fiber roof, and upgraded ultra suede and synthetic leather seats. Look, I don't care. But if you try to sell me a Yaris for like 30 grand, I'm just going to be irritable about that. I mean, why would I want that? Who spends $30,000 on a Yaris? It's worth noting that out of the production, GR Corolla is a near match to unofficial computer illustrations published by Japanese magazine Best Car last year, with similar front bumper, rear fascia, flared wheel arches, wheel design, and body-colored side kits. Okay, so they had it a year ago. The 2023 GR Corolla will be revealed in full tomorrow, April 1st. At 12:30, U.S. deliveries will commence in the northern autumn of this year, which will be fall. Stay tuned to Drive for full details tomorrow, including plans for Australian drivers. So I'm guessing this source is from Australia. Yeah, it says copyright Drive AU, and I should have looked that up in the URL, but I didn't, and I don't care. Again, I'm excited that someone has found out everything that's going to happen with the GR Corolla before its launch. Confused by if pricing is insane. I'm not excited about that. And you know, hot hatches for a certain group of people that I probably do not fit I probably don't fit that spot for, although I'd like to. I'm getting old. Anyway, let's look at some real estate. Okay, here we go. We're in New York City. This will be the first, and then we'll just move. Oh, man. Ugh. Okay. We're going to, you know, we've actually looked at every single location since I started. So this is the first turn. Kind of fascinating, I thought. So here we go. 169. We looked at this before. This is by Sirhan. Sirhan did a wonderful job of recruiting more brokers or more agents. Been on the market 254 days. The HOA fees are $24,012 a month. And that's not a misprint. 6 beds, 7.5 baths, 8,225 square feet. There's 22 pictures. I'm sure the video tour is the best video tour you can have in the country right now, because that guy's got it. The description is wonderful. Way too much. The history, it was listed in 2021 for $169 million. Now, I don't even understand. I don't even understand how you do that, but let's just look. There's 22 pictures. I mean, that's the view you get. Okay. And I know that 8,000 square feet is big. It's kind of funny because what the issue is here is like you have this view. Okay. This is what you're paying for. You notice how they intersperse the view into the pictures? Like they'll go outside. Like, you know how I like to start off with, if you want to do a good listing to me, you take the front picture, the curb appeal first, then you walk up to the house, then you walk through the doors and you kind of walk through the house with your pictures. Then you get to the outside and you look there. Okay. But in this particular case, when the view is such an important component of the listing, you have to incorporate that within the pictures, and they've done a fine job doing that. So that's it, man. 22 pictures. Got a nice floor. I think you should always have a floor plan now. So that's number one. Okay. Now the second one, okay, that's the penthouse. This is the same address. It's not the penthouse. It's unit 79. I don't think we need to look at that because, you know, we see it. So let's look at this. It's $120 million. It's on West 250th Street. I can't believe it because it's 1, 2, 3 bath and 1, 2, 3 bed. So I don't think that that's a real house someone's going to buy, especially for $120 million. So we're going to move off of that. Okay. And we're going to look at this one. It's $85 million. Okay. It's 10 bedrooms, 10.5 baths, and it's 15,000 square feet. Okay. So it's much bigger. It's on the 45th floor on West 42nd Street. Let's take a look at that. Okay. There's an open house. It's been on the market for 1,137 days. The HOA fees are $13,500 a month. The price per square foot is $5,667 $5,667 per square foot. Property has been listed literally since like 2016. It was removed in 2019. Literally just No one's really jumped on this one. Who has the listing? I don't know. River to River Realty. Okay. The details. It's great. I'm not reading it too much. Let's go and take a look. So here we go. I mean, it's quite modern. 15,000 square feet is huge. That is a beautiful kitchen. It's different, different than what I would. I mean, look at that bathroom. That's marble. And just to me, this is not a criticism. This is someone from the Midwest who knows no better. Okay, you've got these huge windows, like your bathtub is like facing a window. Okay. So, but your toilet's hidden. So it's like, it's okay if you're taking a bath, but not if you're doing your business. Kind of odd. I don't know. You tell me, maybe we're missing something. But, you got a picture of the, what is that, the Hudson? Is it a nice house? A nice condo? Sure. Sure it is. But it's just more than what I can handle. Like, I can't put my head around 85 million or twice that for the penthouse. So anyway, and the 15,000 square feet to me doesn't show right in these pictures. It doesn't look that big. So anyway, not a complaint. Okay, now here's another one. This is our last one. $80 million, 9 bedrooms, 10.5 baths, 15,000 square feet for $80 million. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. Come on, let's be honest. Everyone has $80 million. Now they don't show us the outside of the building, at least in the first picture, which I find suspect because shouldn't these pictures be beautiful and wonderful? It's been listed since 2021. They've not changed the price. And this is what happens when you have a very expensive home. It's not excuse me. There's only so many people that can buy $80 million houses. So, that's why it sits here. I'm going to read this because I don't know. It's like informative. So it says 973 Fifth Avenue. Now my parents had a Fifth Avenue Chrysler. But I suspect that, if I remember, it was the tan one, but it could have been, we had a tan one, we had a white one. One was a New Yorker. And I'm not sure if Fifth Avenue then, if it changed. I don't remember if it was a New York or Fifth Avenue and then it became just a Fifth Avenue. I don't know, but my point there is really nothing other than we had like Fifth Avenue is a brand basically, like, oh, you're on Saks Fifth Avenue. You know this. You guys are all smart. Let me check and see if anybody's in the chat. Oh, nobody's in the chat. Never mind. We're fine. 973 Fifth Avenue is one of the most notable residences remaining in private hands today. It is built by the most sought-after architect in American history. Well, who would that be? On the finest block of Fifth Avenue, the only block on the Upper East Side where no high-rise apartment will ever be allowed. The entire block of Fifth Avenue is called the Cook Block, and this block was built for that same Mr. Henry Cook. The house has been meticulously restored and completely modernized beneath its stately surface, which amazingly escaped the ravages of passing taste and destructive architectural design whims of the intervening 115 years since it was built in 1906. It remains an intact masterpiece of one of the greatest architectural firms in American history, McKim, Mead & White. It is irreplaceable, rare, and highly coveted. It's not really that highly coveted because it can't sell, but it will sell, I'm sure. Every modern convenience has been added and every system upgraded with an effortless elegance that never interrupts the easy grace and quiet impressiveness of this residence. The house has a full frontage on Fifth Avenue with glorious views from entertaining rooms with over 16-foot ceilings, easily topping the trees and affording wonderful views over Central Park. There are grand rooms for formal entertaining and cozy rooms for intimate gathering, both with handsome original details, paneling, and lovely park views. The house spans 7 floors and encompasses over 15,000 square feet. Every inch has been given a thorough reconstruction. At the very top of the residence, a marvelous rooftop garden and patio has been built, lifting you high above Central Park with an open 180-degree views to the west side skyline and the tippy glass towers of Midtown Manhattan. I mean, really, I want to buy it, but it doesn't say there's a garage, so where do you park? And what I think is kind of interesting, there's a wood-burning fireplace. I mean, where do you get wood in New York City? Is that a picture of a dog? It is. That seems weird. Whatever. There's Central Park. So we didn't see the outside. It's $80 million. I mean, whatever. Right? Whatever. That was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. Ooh, that'd be a nice house. Okay. Now, let's get to our articles. Thought this was kind of fun. I saw, by the way, that I thought this was funny. Okay, so you know about stock photos, right? Let me go here. Everybody has them and everything, but this one I thought was funny. This man has a man bun, which look, whatever you want. Man bun, if that's what you think is great, go for it. I'm jealous. You can see the situation here. Okay. So anyway, I was like, oh, that's an interesting picture. And I went about my day. I was doing some other things, and I went to do some other research, and I saw an article, and wouldn't you know, it was the same damn picture. The exact same picture. So it's a stock photo, but it was funny to me. It was just like, oh. And if you look at my Deerwood Realty on Google, the first page is probably like the house of the house because of when Google goes by. But then the second picture is of the one that I chose, and it's this, just keys going into a lock. Well, everyone uses that picture. I see it all the time, but I just thought that was interesting. I thought Realtor.com had like a kind of monopoly over being able to, have photos that no one else did. Apparently they don't. So it says 8 things first-time home sellers often get wrong in today's crazy market. Well, I don't know. Honestly, any mistake you make as a home seller, you seem to be rewarded for in this market. I mean, you really have to try hard to not be able to sell your house. And you have to have overpriced it significantly, and you just had to be a jerk. Really. Here we go. The housing market is a sizzling seller's game at the moment where homes stand to spark bidding wars and sell for sky-high prices. I'm sorry, that sounded a little southern. I don't know where that came from. COVID-19 caused so many people to reevaluate their shelter needs, resulting in increased demand for homes and a continued lack of inventory. She explains, this nice woman who got a link in a Realtor.com article, which is key for SEO. All in all, this is great news for sellers, yet with soaring prices and high expectations come a whole new set of possible pitfalls that could trip up inexperienced sellers, particularly if they're selling for the first time. Oh my God, oh no, I might make a mistake and not be able to sell my house for $30,000 over asking. It's kind of an odd article, like the premise. Like, we're going to look back on this article 20 years from now and say, what in the world were those people thinking? Curious. I mean, well, we're in a weird spot because we're talking about a Yaris, a Toyota Yaris being hopped up as a hot hatch. And that's like a big deal. People are excited about it. And it's like a 3-cylinder engine. Yikes. Curious how you might risk ruining a good thing? We asked some real estate experts to identify what many first-time home sellers get wrong when listing their home today. Well, what are those things? Overpricing your property. Well, of course. But what is overpricing your property today? And let me just talk about the strategy real quick because I can. If I'm coming to market today, I've seen people that come $20,000 over what anyone else has even sold their house for in a neighborhood. That takes guts. And then people bid on it and they're like $30,000 over asking. So now you're at $50,000 over what anybody else has gotten. Now, does that appraise? No. But then you've written into your contract, you show proof of that you can do that cash wise. You can fill the appraisal gap. All of which makes it impossible for my buyers that don't have cash, like cash for the appraisal gap. It makes it impossible for them. It's just really bad. And it's very depressing. And I don't know what else to say other than it sucks. Anyway, skimping on home showings. Well, now this is something that I think is a problem. And I think that people do a disservice to themselves. It says, in our not quite post-pandemic era, some homeowners may list their property, then feel skittish about having strangers traipse through. To cash in, however, you can't wait it out. As soon as a house is listed, it's vital to allow as many qualified buyers to view it as possible to help build demand. A seller has a fairly short time window to do this effectively since the house sits on the market. Buyers may assume something is wrong with it. If you're truly uncomfortable with in-person showings or have serious scheduling conflicts, virtual tours may separate out looky-loos from truly interested parties. Then once you know you have a prospective buyer who loves your listing, you can have them scheduled for a masked showing. Now, I'm not going to get into that debate. What I'm going to say is this. Even in St. Louis, we have some problems. Number one, like I have a guy that works really hard at his job and has money, but he works a weird shift. He basically works from like Wednesday through Sunday. And then like Sunday night, he gets off work and you can show him houses Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday. Well, that does not work very well in this market. Houses are gone. Like people are requesting the offers be in by Sunday night at like 5 p.m. We can't even get out to look at the house before it's under contract. And then you say, well, just go during the early part of the week. Well, that doesn't work either because other sellers say Monday is the cutoff date for their contract with a decision made by Tuesday. And so now you've got like Tuesday night, you're only going to get a chance to see houses that are vacant, that didn't sell, which is great, but there aren't that many. And so it makes it tough. Yesterday, for example, I wanted to show them some houses. It was raining and terrible. Still wanted to go. Of the 3 houses, one was coming soon, so we couldn't see that one. The other one had sold within 24 hours. And another one had been on the market and they were taking offers up until Monday with a decision to be on Tuesday. They were taking offers up until Tuesday with a decision to be made on Wednesday. And sure enough, that's what happened. Plus, why am I showing a house Tuesday night when they've already taken accepted all the contracts they're going to accept? Another problem that I have is some sellers are saying like, you can't look at the house past 7 p.m., which is totally okay in the middle of the winter because I can't see anything anyway. But right now it's light until at least 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I've got lots of buyers. And like tonight, if I do this correctly, I'm going to show 3 different sets of buyers houses in 3 different parts of town within like a 2-hour period. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tough, but you're not helping me when you put your listing only until 6:15 or 6:30, like your availability. That kind of hurts. Like it hurts me bad. So yes, don't skimp on the home showings, and don't ever buy a house on a virtual tour and not having seen the home yourself. Staging slip-ups. Number 3, with houses selling so fast, you may think you needn't bother with professional staging. Still, if you want to fetch that dream price that you've heard is within reach, I don't know about this. It could pay to present your home perfectly with some professional home staging help. In my recent experience, staging can reduce a property's time on the market considerably and have a 1% to 5% increase in value offered by buyers. Now, this is not unusual. That's kind of always been the way it is. It says, even here, today's market is keeping these interior design pros busy, as in booked solid for months ahead or months in advance. So plan ahead. So yeah, problem there is, look, you're not getting a home stager in there for quite some time. So now you're holding on to the property. Now, the other thing is it's true the way they start. With houses selling so fast, you may think you needn't bother with professional staging. You probably don't. You probably don't. You could probably have an empty house and it brings above asking every time. This is just the way it is. I don't think you can screw that up, though. I don't think it's a screw up to not stage your house. I think you should just be used to it by now. Just deal with it. Just get it on the market. Seeing only dollar signs, a big payoff is tantalizing, but money isn't everything. Many people look at price as the end all be all, but a smart seller considers a variety of factors to make an educated decision. For instance, the highest offer may have a loan with an appraisal contingency, while a somewhat lower offer may be in cash. Perhaps the bidders with the highest offer need to sell their home first. That could mean a slower snag field deal. You might be better off taking a slightly lower offer. This is correct. This is correct. But I'm telling you, if somebody comes at me with a mortgage and they have the cash to cover an appraisal gap, I don't care if it's cash or if it's a mortgage. I really don't. I really don't. And I want the highest amount of money. And if it doesn't appraise, it doesn't appraise. And that's too bad. Will I take less if I have an all cash offer? Maybe. But I don't really care that much if I have the cash to cover the appraisal gap. This is where I'm at. Number 5, pouncing on an implausible offer. Guess what? Buyers know it's a seller's market too. So some may make ginormous bids to beat out the competition. Offers that fall apart in financing an appraisal or inspection. So this, to me, seeing only dollar signs and pouncing on an implausible offer are the same thing. It's in this market, it's not uncommon for a buyer to submit an offer for a house sight unseen, which I've said to you, don't ever do. Then if the buyer doesn't like what he eventually does see, the offer can be withdrawn and the property is likely to lose traction. The takeaway, if something seems too good to be true, it usually is, work with your real estate agent to understand who is bidding and how serious they are to avoid having your deal unravel. 100%. 100%. FSBO, for sale by owner blunders. While for sale by owner sounds like a direct route to extra profit, cutting brokers out of the picture is a risk. Today's rookie sellers may be tempted to try selling the house on their own to save their agent's commission, but doing so severely limits your exposure. It does. At the very least, put your house on the local MLS through a flat fee listing agency. You'll be responsible for the commission of the buyer's agent, but by reaching more potential buyers, you're apt to get a higher price. Also, in this area of bidding wars, having an agent at your side is a huge help. Navigating a flurry of highest and best offer bids is tough for a rookie. It's not going to happen, though, as a for sale by owner. You're likely only to have the most desperate of people that are really looking for a deal. I don't think it's a good idea to go for sale by owner. As my bias indicates, I am a real estate agent. To me, it's a bad idea at all times. Maybe it works out for you, but to me, bad idea. Spacing out on the new place. So you're all set to sell your house. Great. Now what's your next move? Avoid winding up with an anxious buyer on one hand and no place to go on the other. It can be hard to find the right new home now. So start searching immediately once your property comes to the market. Then be sure to negotiate an extended closing or leaseback, or even make the sale contingent upon closing on another home. Stupid advice. You're not going to get the negotiation for an extended closing or leaseback. It's not going to happen. No one's doing that. Just stop. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, do you really think that a buyer, now that they've gone over asking by $30,000 to $50,000 to $100,000, want to let you in their new home for until you find a house? It could be a year before you find a house. Stupid idea. Number 8, assuming this hot market will last. Inexperienced sellers may turn down a worthy offer or even forestall listing in their home, hoping prices will continue to go up. While it may take a while for the seller's market to top out, interest rates are expected to creep up this year. Already 100 basis points in the last 2 weeks, which could reduce the pool of hungry buyers. Generally speaking, now is a good time to both buy and sell, with historically low interest rates fueling activity, says Reichman. But with rates on the rise, I anticipate the velocity of the transactions to slow down. That sounds good, the velocity of the transactions. Overall, I encourage my clients not to try to time the market, but to let their own specific housing needs dictate what they do. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Let's check the chat. No one's in the chat. All right, let's keep going. This is an interesting. I thought this is an interesting article because of the who wrote it, because of what it says, and we're just going to get through it. So, second guessing buying a house, don't. Home buyers are getting control back in 2022. Well, that's a bold prediction. It says, we are still, and by the way, the reason why I say that, written by Max Simkoff, CEO Doma, and then we learned that Doma started Doma after previously experienced the friction and labor caused by the title insurance and the home buying process. Since then, he's worked to provide an innovative solution for homeowners, brokers, and mortgage bankers. Max is an entrepreneur with experience founding and operating technology companies. So I'm not going to look up Doma, but I did want to put it out there because he did write it, because he is this Doma. And I don't know, it could be Dama. Whatever. Look it up. We're living in an unprecedented time in history, the pandemic, the highest inflation rate in 4 decades, and a housing boom that is not letting up. While these global challenges continue to impact people's daily lives, the coming year will begin to shift how consumers experience the homeownership journey. There's no doubt the past 2 years have been a seller's market, but 2022 should begin to give control back to the home buyer. I predict this shift happening in 3 ways. Number 1, home buyers will have a competitive advantage with an alternative type of all cash offer. No. 2, there will be renewed focus by federal agencies and availability of new technology that will help reduce bias during the home buying process, allowing equal access to any home by anyone. Oh, really? So they're going to try and get your real estate agents. Is that what you're saying? And your perceived bias. So good luck with that. And number 3, seamless technology will provide a more convenient home closing experience that saves time and money, reducing the gap between today's reality and the expectations of the next generation homebuyer. All that is wrong. All that is wrong. I'm telling you that right now. The reason why the home buying market may cool down is because people may lose their jobs, is because we may go into a recession and we might not be able to afford a house. That's it. That's the reason. None of this technology, this is not going to happen. The technology impact on real estate is minimal every year because people like to work with people to buy houses. That doesn't mean it's always going to happen that way. Okay. But I'm just telling you, these reasons are wrong. And by the way, you can predict anything you want to. Like, you can call me out on this. It's 3/31/2022. If I'm wrong, you can come back and look at the recording. I'm not going to take it off of YouTube. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. I don't want to be ever considered infallible. Like, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. All cash or bust. One result of the ongoing competitive housing market is that inventory will still be low, but this should make the way for a new competitive edge for home buyers. The all cash offer and the iLender. I mean, and this is stupid. What is an iLender and how is it different than an iBuyer? iLender is the new I for instant in real estate. While an iBuyer uses the technology to determine and make an instant all cash offer to the seller, an iLender gives the advantage to the buyer. Here's how it generally works. Lenders approve a loan amount, allowing the homeowner to buy an equivalent of an all cash offer. The iLender then purchases the property outright for the home buyer, usually within a few days, while the mortgage is finalized and ownership is later transferred. The alternative to a traditional all-cash offer through an iLender is already making an impact in the housing industry. By mid-2021, approximately 30% of offers were in all cash, and all signs point to continued uptick in all-cash offers in 2022. What was once only an option for high-earning home buyers, iLenders gives a competitive edge to the average consumer in an ongoing high-demand housing market. That's not true. You literally can get a mortgage, okay? And then what you do is you have cash available for an appraisal, the gap. So say it appraises low, you still have cash. Are you telling me that the iLender is going to buy a house, okay, and it's not going to appraise? They're not going to get an appraisal? And they're going to go ahead and take that risk to sell it back to you? It's not going to happen, okay? Does this technology exist? Yes. Is it going to be a major player like it's predicted? No. No, it's not. It just isn't. Equitable housing for all. Despite the leg up all cash offer can give, those in underrepresented communities often have a steeper hill to climb. Mortgage denial rates between black and white applicants grew by 10 percentage points in 2021, and the cost to buy a single family home will likely increase up to 12% at least through Q1 of this year. I agree, but it says, however, because of this increased uncertainty and stories of discrimination coming to light, the Federal Housing Finance Agency is making equal and fair housing a priority initiative for 2022. When is it not? When has it not been in the last, 80 years? Like, what? It's just beyond me that you just can't go ahead and say, this is the way it is all the time. Like, we're going to make it a priority now. Like it should have been a priority in 1960. That's what I'm saying. It's just ridiculous. It says government-sponsored enterprises like Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae are realizing now more than ever they have a powerful role in driving large-scale change in housing fairness outcomes. This is insane. More recently, Fannie Mae is looking to use available rent data to fast-track loans for homebuyers with little to no credit. Really? That's not a good plan. There's a reason why people have little or no credit. Additionally, technology is beginning to help alleviate bias and drive more equitable outcomes for all homeowners, such as helping offset the bias of an appraiser by analyzing available data. Yes, they're going to do exactly what Zillow did, and it's going to smack them right in the face. New technology companies, GSEs, and other private enterprises are enabling this much-needed change to happen sooner rather than later, giving renewed hope for all consumers that they will be able to buy or sell a house based solely on the fair market value of that house. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And that's why when I was talking about a buyer love letter, if a black family, we're talking black because of this particular article, we could use underrepresented community. If they write a letter to a seller and say, hey, we're looking forward to buying your house. We really love it. We knew we loved it the moment we came in. We plan on raising our family here. Okay. And some other group writes, basically who isn't underrepresented anymore. There's only one group that's, let's be honest. There's one group that has no ability to do anything. And I'll let you figure out who that is. Anyway, let's say the seller says, oh, well, you know what? Somebody else is offering me $10,000 more, but I liked your letter. We're going with you. Is that not the way it should be? Is that not the way it should be? See, you're taking away the chance. You're tying people's hands to make them do stuff that's even worse than if you just let it go. That's the problem. Buying a house, a car, same seamless tech-enabled process. The housing industry is no exception when it comes to innovation. The process of buying a car can be completed through an app. And now machine learning and other digital technologies are allowing the home buying process to have a similar tech-enabled experience. For example, opportunities for digital closing on purchases of a refinancing house has been on the rise for several years, up 228% since 2019, but have hit a tipping point for 2022. And this is only the start. Accelerated adoption of remote online notarizations are more realistic in 2022. Also, a physical notary who verifies your identity and witnesses your signature on stacks of paper has been a requirement for most, if not all, states for what feels like forever. Then in 2020, along came a global pandemic, and many states, following emergency procedures, quickly picked up adoption of RON, or remote online notaries, and those measures are beginning to have lasting power. The digitization of the industry is being influenced by the largest share of home buyers in the market right now, millennials. Instant and digital are now table stakes. 99% of millennials start searching for their dream home digitally. Well, that's obvious. And that's not new. If anybody my age, 44 years old, they will look for a house first online. Some millennial home buyers don't even set foot inside their home first before purchasing the house because they're dumb. It's a bad idea, and you should never do it. All because of more seamless, user-friendly technology. So I just generally disagree with the market completely. Okay, but here, let's go over some of this. How do I get started? So many real estate trends from 2021 will be here to stay. And while it will be a tough buyer's market with additional tools, technology, and industry support, 2022 can absolutely be the year to buy a home. Here are a few tips to get ahead of the trends and the competition. Don't necessarily settle for a typical loan. Include iLenders in your loan searches. They can give you the equivalent of an all-cash offer to help stay competitive and win the bid on your dream home. We've already talked about this. Good luck. Choose your own journey. Connect with people outside your usual social circle or community. A trustworthy real estate agent with a unique perspective or an unknown but reputable appraisal can result in a fair, low-cost, and stress-free home buying experience. Now, listen, I agree with finding a trustworthy real estate agent, okay? 100%. Good luck finding one. And I say that with all honesty. Look, it's tough, and you won't know until you're in the process. So the next part is, or an unknown but reputable appraiser. Do you understand that banks don't have the ability to choose the appraiser that goes out for their property? As part of a third-party management situation. It's been that way since the housing crash of 2007. You do not pick your appraiser. The bank does not pick your appraiser. You pay for an appraisal that the bank didn't get to choose because of a third-party clearinghouse. So you cannot say with any sort of degree of certainty that you will be able to choose, obviously, your appraiser. And who knows? Who really knows what's going on in the appraisal world? I don't. I'm not an appraiser. Leverage technology. Ask your real estate agent and lender about where technology can play a role in your home buying process. From virtual open houses to the title, I forgot what it's called, but it was up in the article. Digital solutions offered by title and escrow partners. Chances are you can find a quicker, easier, and more affordable path to closing on your home. Maybe. I disagree 100% with this article, but I thought it was important to bring it to you. I thought it important to bring it to you because I've seen the same article written in 2004, 2006, 2010, 2012, 2015. It's the same article. Technology is going to disrupt the real estate industry. And while I think it does and has, the vast majority of people are going to use a buyer's agent when they go out to buy a house. The vast majority of people that are selling their home will probably still continue to use a seller's agent, because I can guarantee you the good ones can get you more money than anything you could ever do on some stupid platform like OfferPad. But they're going to take up a significant portion. Let's just say right now we're running it. Maybe they've got 5% of the market. They could have up to 40% of the market. Doesn't make it easier on me, but I recognize where real estate sales are going. There's the writings on the wall. I suspect that at some point in time it will be quaint, quote unquote, to hire someone like myself before this is all done. It's a big mistake because knowledgeable real estate agents can get you a lot further, a lot faster, but it's not up to me. It's not up to me. There's millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to try and get rid of real estate agents every year. Billions. So, what's new? What's new? Well, what's new to me is some of the technology, some of the companies that are using these billions are not looking for a return. They're looking to just destroy the market first. And then whatever pieces are left, they'll have broken the market, so it won't matter. Now you may say, that's great. I hate real estate agents. They're terrible. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever industry you're in, I hate you and they're terrible and they should go away. And that goes for every industry. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if we're going to play that game, that's how I feel. I've gone over today. I've had a great show. It was informative. It was light. It was on point. You should watch this show. You should tell your friends about this show. And, let's have a community. Let's enjoy it. That's all I've got for you today. I'll be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. You come and see me. Thank you for watching.